All right, I've been thinking, yep, it's a bit worrying, I know, but hear me out, right? Us dudes at GMBN tend to show you a number of ways and skills to improve your riding out on the trail. Neil likes to go really fast, and his great way of showing you how to do that. I like to show you how to get up into the air and do a few tricks and have some fun. But how many skills do you actually really need to take on board to get through this basic trail safely? I'm gonna find out. Oh, right, so I've ridden the trail, pushed back up, and I've come up with 6 basic skills to get through a basic trail. And that is body positioning, you're braking, you're cornering, you're pumping, you're looking ahead, and you're linking the whole trail together. Right now I'm going to explain each individual skill, and first up I'm going to talk about body positioning, because that's important. Right, before you get carried away and you just drop in, you don't know what to expect on the trail, there's a few things you need to take into consideration, and one of them is a very important one, and is that saddle, getting that saddle down low. If you have a dropper post, get as low as possible you can, but if you don't have a dropper post, just undo that quick release or bolt and bring that saddle and seat post down as low as possible, as much as you can, really, just to get it out of the way. But by doing that, you're going to let your body weight venture over the back a little bit, especially when you get into a steep section. You can bring that body weight a little bit back, because by having it up, you're just going to have it all over the front. It's going to buck you in the bum. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable and sketchy. Right, let me run through all the wrongdoings of body position. Right, I've seen this a lot out there, and there's people riding with their cranks like this. That is a recipe for disaster, because your foot is super low to the ground. It's all well and good doing it out on the streets when you're commuting to work, but when you're out on the trail, it's rougher than it is the road. So by doing that, you're essentially going to hit rocks, and it's going to ping you off the trail, and it's going to cause a little bit of an accident. So the key is to ride like that. Another one is straight legs, straight arms, all locked out, quite nervous looking. You're all a bit stiff, and you can't really move your body. You want your body to move with your bike as you're going down the trail. Right now, the correct way, what you want to do is loosen up a little bit. Get your elbows bent, bend your knees. So you want your pedals to be like that, level pedaled, feet quite nice and central on the pedals, bend your legs, bend your elbows, get into that press up position, that attack position. You want to have your elbows quite high up as well. But when you're having this all bent, don't get stiff and get stuck like this. You want to just be supple on your bike, because your body is as much a suspension as your bike, especially when you're riding a hardtail like this. You're relying on your knees by moving up and down, letting your body absorb all of those rough terrains. Right, whilst you're talking about body positioning, you're in that attack position, you're looking, but you're looking at your front tire. I've seen this a lot of times. People are concentrating on this little area right here when they're riding down the trail, but this is not essentially the trail. All of that over there is a trail as well. So you want to look ahead, keep your head up high, see what's coming up, focus on certain objects that are going to be in your way so you can make a decision way before you get to it, instead of looking at that boulder and going, oh no, I've got a split second to go around it, and you hit it. So it's key to look ahead, keep your head up high. Right, we spoke about this in skill number 1, and that's braking. And what you want to do is brake before you get into a turn, like this berm going left. You want to come in with a little bit of speed, slow yourself down before you get into the turn, because what you don't want to do is brake in the turn, like slapping it on, because that's going to send you, it's going to stand you up a little bit, and it's going to slow you down. You're going to end up going out the berm or into the rough stuff in the inside of the turn. So I've seen a lot of people riding at berm and turns and whatever corner, and their inside foot is down low and their outside foot is quite high. But what you're doing is you're lowering your approach angle when you're coming into a turn. So essentially this inside foot is going to be quite low to the ground, and you could strike a rock, and when you strike a rock, it's going to bump you up and push you out of the turn. It's dangerous. What you want to do in a berm is have your feet level. Depending on what foot you have forward, as long as your cranks are level, your body weight is set back, your hips are pushed up to the top of the berm, you're looking forward, you concentrate on your exit, and you're rolling through without slapping those brakes. But this differs on a different turn. So as you can see, my body weight is quite central on the bike. My arms are bent, my legs are bent, my cranks are level with the berm. My hips are slightly up to the top of the berm as well. I'm looking forward at my exit. So this is the incorrect way of riding a berm. So my inside foot is low down, so my approach angle into a berm is not so great because I'm potentially going to strike the ground, which is going to cause me to stand the bike up in the turn and send me off course. Okay, so what I found with my inside foot quite low, my body weight was quite high up, kind of trying to stand my bike up. Kind of didn't feel right in the turn. So having those level pedals is key when you're going into a turn because your body weight is quite central on the bike, like I've explained. But another thing is, don't be scared of the berm. Don't be scared to go up into here because the speed you're going, you'll stick into that turn and you're looking ahead, because if you kind of venture off into the bottom of the berm, it's going to be a little bit slippery and greasy with stones and all that dirt that comes off that berm. So don't be scared of it. Ride the berm. So technique changes when riding flat turns because there's no bank there for you to ride and catch grip. What you want to do is drop that outside foot like I'm doing right here and essentially moving your body weight to the back wheel so that wheel can dig in and get maximum grip. You can actually ride it flat-footed like I am here, but you're not going to get full maximum grip. But what you don't want to do is drop your inside foot like I'm doing here. That pedal is going to be scraping the ground. You're not going to get your full lean on, you're not going to get maximum grip, and it could potentially ping you and off the trail and potentially hit that tree. Right, pumping. The trail is never flat. A mountain bike trail is going to be rough and bumpy, lumpy and jumpy. So you're going to have to introduce that pumping technique, and what I mean by this is, look at this for example right here. This is what we call a speed bump, a roller as such. So when you're coming into it, what you want to do is you're in that attack position, you're in the correct body position. And what you want to do when you're riding up it, you want to let the bike rise up into your body. Let it come up into you, bending your knees, bending your elbows, and then when you're coming to the other side where you want your bike to roll down, you're basically pushing down on the bike, letting it drop away from you. So you're keeping the bike quite low and central and leave it, on the ground as such, and you roll through. But when it comes to a roller, a dip in the ground, it's the same technique, but I'll show you that. Right, a little dip in the trail. It's the same as going over a little lump as well, but what you want to do is let your bike push, so you're squashing the bike into the ground, letting it drift away from you. Then when you're getting through the whole transition, coming out the other side, you want to essentially do what you do on a speed bump, is let that bike come up into you again. Let it rise up into you, bend your elbows, bend your knees, and then push out and push through to the next bit of the trail. So a mountain bike trail is never flat, never straight, and it's never easy as well, because it's got lumps, bumps, turns and corners and everything, like I've said. But bringing all those skills that I've spoken about into one practice by linking up the trail ahead of you is going to help you conquer that trail. So it's all about nailing those skills together. So it's all about having the correct body position, looking ahead, having the correct braking technique in your corners, be confident in the corners. And it's all about linking up the whole thing by pumping through the trail, getting your flow on, and just conquering that oh so basic mountain bike trail. Good buddy, looking ahead, brake, yeah. Pumping, getting faster. So much fun. Mountain biking is the best, I tell you. But hopefully this gives you a little bit more of an understanding on how to tackle a basic trail, such like that one. It only takes a few skills to master to do it. But the thing is, for the first time, like everything for the first time actually, it's going to be scary. But the best thing about this is you can just pedal back up to the top and hit that exactly same trail, just hone those skills in a little bit more. But if you want to see another video, 5 essential skills, click just down over here. And if you want to learn how to jump from basics, click just there. Smash that globe if you haven't subscribed already, because you're missing out, and I'll see you at the next one.